Mahavakyas are the same. Each one emphasizes a different aspect of the individual consciousness. Prajnana Brahma speaks of consciousness as Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi speaks of I am as Brahman. Tattvamasi connects individual consciousness with universal consciousness. I am Atma Brahma directly points to this self as Brahman. The aim of the Mahavakya is to bring awareness into that universal form by changing the individuality into that universality. We feel I am different from others. However, basically, the process of mind and action are the same in all living beings. There is no reason to separate them. The Mahavakyas remove that avidya and reveal the one truth. Shloka 5. The third Mahavakya is from Samaveda, Chandogya Upanishad. Before creation, the immanent principle was there as Sat, existence. That is the ultimate cause of creation. The Sat is devoid of name and form, Nama Rupa. That is what is said here. Nama Rupa Vivarjitam. The difference before creation and after creation is only in name and form. Before creation, it was Ekam Eva Advitiyam, one without a second. After creation, names and forms appeared. Existence, consciousness, bliss are not names, they are actualities. Fire is the name, but heat is the reality of the fire. Similarly, Brahman can be named, but Sachidananda is the reality. Before creation, there was no name, only the principle. After creation, we give names Akasha, Vayu, five elements. The principal cause does not change. Existence remains as existence. Whatever was there before creation, the same principle continues even after creation. Similarly, the same Sat existence that was before creation continues in you now. Nothing has changed. You who existed before creation is still here in you now. You are that. This shloka explains Tat Pada Shodhanam. Sloka 16, 6, sorry. The sixth sloka explains Tvam Pada Shodhanam, purification of the word Tvam, that is you. Guru says you are that. To understand how we can be Brahman, you have to purify and remove all additional attributes and connect with Satchit Ananda. The problem is that we identify with actions. I am the listener, I am the doer, I am angry, etc. Action is different from consciousness, yet we merge with it. So when you take an action, you can see the identification of consciousness. You cannot, you connect your consciousness, you are not losing your consciousness, you only connect to your consciousness. Therefore, one has to practice being aware of the consciousness behind all these actions. The solution is to withdraw from identification. Withdrawing means becoming aware of it. This is Tvam Pada Shodhanam. Then the oneness of Tat and Tvam is realized. Asi is just the link. Behind every action is Satchit Ananda. Tat is the principal cause before creation. Sat. Tvam is the consciousness behind all these actions. Both are one. This identity has to be experienced. In daily life also, when it is said, you are, what I receive is I am. The grammar itself becomes sadhana and Sanskrit. Just as fire may be a name and heat is not a name, heat is the actual reality of that fire. Similarly, Brahman can be said to be a name, but actually Brahman is Sachidananda. Why this you are, I am, the proving process of existence comes. In each action, there is existence, consciousness behind us, and we should try to be with that. Shloka 7. The fourth Mahavakya is from Mandukya Upanishad of Atharva Veda. I am Atma Brahma means this self is Brahman. This self is potential individual consciousness and is nothing but Brahman. It is identified with the universal consciousness. Self is Swaprakasha, Aparoksha. Swaprakasha meaning self-illumined. Self-known implies that I know directly. Knowledge and self are inseparable. Aparoksha means immediate, direct, without medium. These two things indicate our own existence, this consciousness. This self is innermost, Pratyak Atma, the deepest and innermost self. It is the most internal part of our experiences. And this is not different from the universal. Here we take the Adhishtanam of everything. Shloka 8. When we take the visible principle of the entire creation, it is said to be the substratum of the principal cause of this entire visible creation. This cause is Brahman. Brahman is the all pervading principle, the reality of this visible world. This Pratyak Atma and that Brahman are one and the same. Only the word changes. I am not different from the universe, and the universe is not different from me. If I see myself from my own core existence, if I am that Brahman, then this world is also Brahman. Brahman means all pervading. There cannot be two all pervading principles. Therefore, only one can exist. The key teaching here is that Brahman is not different from this Pratyak Atma. There cannot be two different principles. If I am Brahman at my core, then the world is also Brahman. Purnamida Purnamidam. That is full. This is also full. The important practical points here are 1. Separation is due to avidya only. Fundamentally, mind, action, consciousness, all are same. Second, Tvam Pada Shodhanam. Practice withdrawing from the actions, emotions, and abiding as the conscious behind all these. Third, there is no Nama Rupa in Brahman, name and form. Brahman is Satchit Ananda. Names like Akasha, Vayu, etc. are only after creation. Fourth, self is directly known. No proof needed for I exist. That self-evident knowing is Brahman. Hari Om Swamiji. Now, Swamiji will take over.
Smriti-Purāṇānamalaya Karuṇālaya Namāmi Bhagavad-Pādam Shankaram 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 Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra-Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavando Punaha ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् नमः श्री शंकरानंद गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलासमहामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणे ओम नमो नारायणाय. In Pancadashi, we have completed the first 5 chapters, which are called Viveka Prakaraṇas. So we got the clarity of Viveka means distinguishing Atma and Anatma. Starting from the creation, we discussed creation, Jivatma, Jiva Srishti and Ishvara Srishti, and at last 4 Mahavakyas. So the important part of this Vedantic concept is generally touched and discussed. Now, the second 5 chapters, second part of this Pancadashi is again 5 chapters. These chapters are called Dīpa Prakaraṇas. Deepa is an instance for just for resembled for Chaitanya consciousness. So the each prakarana we call as Deepa. So Deepa means identifying consciousness. Then the last part, the third part will come up with Ananda Prakarana. So 5 Ananda Prakaranas are there. So now we are entering into Dīpa Prakaraṇas. We have 5 Dīpa Prakaranas. Out of 5, 2 Prakaranas are very important in the sense they discuss everything. The first one, Citra Dīpa, and the second one, Citra Dīpa. The Citra Dīpa is the longest Prakarana in Pancadashi. Second to that is Citra Dīpa. So Citra Dīpa Prakarana has 290 ślokas. So you can see the elaboration how it's going to be. And you will enjoy it because this Prakarana is one of the masterpiece of Vidyarananda Svamiji. He was famous with these 2 Prakaranas, Citra Dīpa and Tirtha Dīpa. It's like a complete study of Vedanta with Pramanas, and some points are very deeply and in detail, in depth, in profound discussion is there in these 2 Prakaranas. Some points are similar in Citra Dīpa and Tirtha Dīpa. But Tirtha Dīpa, more or less we can say the experience of Satchidananda Brahma or in Jivan Mukti. And Citra Dīpa is covering all other parts, other points of Vedanta. So it is very interesting how Sri Vidyaranya Mahaswamiji brought together all this. And some scholars say the first part of these 5 Prakaranas mainly written by his guru, and he edited and compiled it. And this second Prakarana, the scholars believe from Citra Dīpa, he himself wrote. But it is not clear anywhere in this text. But it's what you say, the tradition believe like that. That doesn't matter for us because we are going to study the matter what is discussed there. It may be his gurus or guru paramparas or his own elaboration. But it's very interesting how systematically Vedanta study can go and what makes the difference when you study something systematically from a traditional guru or traditional textbook. So how the clarity comes. This you can see in this Citra Dīpa and Tirtha Dīpa. And again, we will discuss those points as Jiva Srishti and Ishvara Srishti, which you all know very well now. We will have some more details, some more points from that. And because this chapter is a long chapter, before starting the shloka, I like to summarize the chapter so that you know what we are going to discuss. Because 290 shloka means it will take a long time. Maybe we don't know, but it's going to take a year to complete it. So therefore, it's better to know what we are going to discuss. No, then you will be more interested to join each class. So what is going to come further? So one important point, one important method used here in this Citra Dīpa is the famous methodology of Vedanta. That is called Adhyāropa and Apavada. This word you already know because we have discussed it in Tattvabodha, Atmabodha and Pancadashi previous chapters. Adhyaropa and Apavada. So you have to remember these two words. Adhyaropa is pronounced as Adhyaropa. Adhyaropa means superimposition. You are you are knowingly attributing something on something. The substratum, something is there. You know this is different thing. And knowingly you are going to attribute something to know some point there. So this process is called Adhyaropa. So that's one part. We technically we call it as superimposition. Superimposition. We are superimposing something on something, imposing something on something. So that is called Adhyaropa. So Vedanta has this superimposition theory because Satchidananda Brahma is without attributions, without any name and form, any impositions so as such. In that Brahma, how we can make all this creation, or how we can consider Shuddha Brahma as the ultimate cause of this creation, ultimate, what you say, the substratum of this creation, the base of this creation. Now, how we can attribute that? Now there is a creation, and on which we are going to attribute the creation. That object as Satchidananda Brahma has no quality to create something because you know it. If you want to create something, make something, that stuff out of which you are going to make should have that quality. It should be qualified to make something. Otherwise, it's not possible. Like from clay, you can make a pot. The reason is The clay has a special quality. That clay can be changed, manifested in the form of pot or anything like that. So that is why we are able to use clay for creating a pot or any structure or anything like that, vessels or anything. But you cannot create a pot out of water, because water has no quality to take the form of a pot. So it's impossible to create. Similarly, if Satchidananda Brahma is attributeless, it has no form, nothing, how that Brahman, Satchidananda Brahman, can be considered as the base of the creation? So this is a fundamental problem in Vedanta, not only in Vedanta, in other philosophies as all the philosophies we can say. They have their own cause and relation, cause and effect relation. So they also have this problem. So here Vedanta clarifies it. So Vedanta has this technique of Adhyāropa. It says we superimpose something. When the purpose is completed, you know what it is. Then the superimposition is de-superimposed. So the de-superimposition is called Apavada. It means denial, denying what is attributed. So first we attribute, then make you understand what is attributed and what is the base. Because if a teacher wants to teach you how the creation came, how the creation is attributed on Brahman, so he has to show it. Otherwise, if a teacher say how it is attributed, if there is no way to explain it, you will not understand what is the base, what is the substratum, how we can go to the substratum, and how this creation is based on Brahman or any cause as such, or Prakriti or Maya or whatever. So for that purpose, only for that purpose, it means for the sake of teaching, for the sake of understanding, we need a methodology, we need a system, teaching system. By point, one has to enter into that creation. For that purpose, Vedanta uses this Adhyaropa technique. Adhyaropa means superimposition. So then the creation comes. So you understand that creation. Now this is created first, Panchabhutas, 5 elements, then out of 5 elements, Pancikaranam, and all this you know now. Then after that, once you understand, oh, this is the base of this. The whole creation is based on this. This much understanding, when this much is clear, then from that point, Apavada starts. So de-imposition starts. So what is superimposed? Just opposite of that. De-superimposition, negation of the same. What are all imposed will be de-imposed by the same method, same system, same sequence. So this is called Apavada. So Apavadati, it means negating, removing. So there we use neti. So here it says Sarvam Khalidam Brahma, everything is came from Brahma, Purnamataha, Purnamitam, all this. And there it says neti. So in this chapter, we will see the Adhyaropa Apavada technique, how it is used, because it is very important for Vedanta, higher level of Vedanta. Because by now, you have reached the higher level of Vedanta, what you said, advanced Vedanta. So the basic Vedanta is completed now. So you are in advanced Vedanta, you are all advanced students now. So you will get into more into this, because if you study Citra Dīpa, the Citra Dīpa and Tirtha Dīpa is means master of Vedanta. So you will get everything. So therefore, I thought, because this chapter is too long to remember or have the points, so we'll discuss this point, what we are going to discuss today. You see, the chapter will start with a example or a similar to one shloka to 9 shloka. The 4 stages of a painting a picture. So you know painting, canvas painting. So the canvas painting is an example here. So by that, he is going to explain Shuddha Brahma, Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha, and Virat, or all the 4. So we will see that in the first shloka to 9th shloka. The 4 stages of painting is compared with the 4 different stages of Satchidananda Brahma, the self, supreme self, and its manifestations. So based on this chapter's name came as Citra Dīpa Prakaraṇam. The Chitra, you see, in those days, this canvas was there, and this painting technique was there. So everything was there. It is because we know this time of Vidyarthi Mahaswami is 13th century. So the 13th century in those days, it was very famous, it seems. So therefore, he took this example to elaborate it, because those days cinema was not there. If cinema would be better example for this, but those days it was not there. So therefore, he took the canvas example. So this we will see. So Yatha Chitrapate, start with that shloka, and the 9th shloka come Chitrastha Parvadadhinam, the 9th shloka. I'm just quoting the shlokas, first part of the shlokas. We start with Yatha Chitrapate and Chitra Parvadadhinam. So that 9 shlokas will explain the similar with the Chitrapata, similarity of Chitrapata and this creation from Satchidananda Brahma. And then 10 to 16 shloka. The 10th shloka, Samsara Paramarthoyam. Start with that. And 16th shloka, Asti Brahmedi Chedveta. In the 16th shloka. So in these shlokas, 6 shlokas, the cause of superimposition of the world on self. As I said, the superimposition theory will be introduced there in this shloka. So Adhyāropa will introduce there. And from 17 to 24th shloka, the 17th shloka comes as Tad Sakshatkara Siddhyartham. So to realize that, how Brahman become the world. So nature of Paroksha Jnana and Aparoksha Jnana, and of course the inquiry about Jivatma and Ishvara, all the different types of different realm of understandings. That will be discussed in these shlokas, 17 to 24. Then 25th to 32, I am Jivona Kudastham. Here it is going to separate the Kudastha and Chidabhasa. You might have heard about this word Chidabhasa. It is very famous in Pancadashi. Actually, this word is formed in Pancadashi only. what is the source of this word, Chidabhasa. It's from Pancadashi. Now, who is Kutastha Sakshi? Actually, here the Sakshi, the witness of everything, is going to explain as Kutastha. So there is something little bit difference between Sakshi and Kutastha that we will know from this point. Ayam Jivo na Kutastham Tacha Chatchet Virodhi. No, these are the shlokas there. And 25th to 32. So that we will discuss the nature of avidya and its functions and how the Kutastha is covered, dealing with avidya. So how we can reveal it. Then the 33 shloka to 50, the projection, what the avidya or maya projects. The projection is not creation. There is a difference between projection and creation. Therefore, I said this: what picture we see, what painting we see in the canvas is not a creation. It's like a projection. It is appearance. So the paint, different colors, mixing up different color in different form, it is appearing as real, appearing as something. There is all mountains, rivers, and people walking. All actions are there, seen there, but nothing is real. It's only appearing because then the reality is the canvas on which the paint is applied. So the painter, the artist, he knows how to paint it, color it. So he colored it in a different form. That's all. Nothing real. So this is we call as projection or appearance. So the whole creation is a projection on this canvas as Brahman. So now the canvas is going to be Brahman. We are connecting like that. So then the projection will be as pictures. So the pictures see there. So therefore, when we see cinema in theaters, the same thing happens. There, one background, some canvas or something will be there. On that, by light, they project. It's called the projection. So this one of the important point we are going to discuss in 32 to 50 shlokas and 51 to 58. The cause of mutual superimposition with the Kutastha and Chidabhasa. Now the Kutastha Chidabhasa discussion will again come there. And Chidabhasa is Ahanta, Ahamkara, and Kutastha is beyond that, which is forced to act as Aham. Actually, it is not acting. Because of Chidabhasa, because of this ego, it's Ahankara. This Kutastha, the Sakshi, the witness, is forced to act like a doer or witness, a seer or knower, like that. So this point will be discussed there. The connection between Kutastha and Chidabhasa. So Ahankara, Jivatma and Sakshi. Because this point is very famous in Vedanta. But there is very rare discussion or detailed discussion on the differences and the connections of these two. What are the connections and what are the different characteristics of Kutastha and Chidabhasa? This will be very clear after reading this Citra Dīpa Prakaraṇas. That will be useful for our meditation as well. So there the shloka is going to be Ahanta is Ahankara. So Brahmyante Panditam Manyaha. The 58 shloka will introduce that though this clarity is there in Atma, but all these Pandita Manyaha, who thinks themselves scholars, realized they are confused, because this point cannot be known by only scholarly study. The scholarship is something different. You may be a scholar of any subject, but this, even Vedanta, is not a subject of scholarly study. So here, Vidyaranya Muni is going to say that uh, he will give a statement that if you want to separate, if you want to experience what is Kudastha and Chidabhasa, what happened between them, then you have to meditate on them. Only scholarly knowledge will not help you. So therefore, why they are confused? So he will show many reasons why they are confused. They are means we are. Why we are confused with, we are unable to distinguish Kudastha and Jivatma. We are always confused with this. So he will count all the reasons one by one and give you some solution, some way to solve it. Some 59 to 101. So like a long discussion on cause of wrong understanding of scriptures reading. You see, just now I said, why we are unable to understand scriptures correctly. So cause for wrong understanding, misunderstanding of scriptural reading, scriptural writings. Why why it happens? So we are always confused with paravidya and aparavidya, paravidya and aparavidya. We are always too much attracted to the sentences and the discussions of the matter. We are not going inside the meaning. We are just we are interested to in discussion. This means only in you discuss and debate and you enjoy it. Oh, it's very wonderful. Oh, really inspiring, and all this you will feel, but nothing will happen. After that, everything is safe. So it's like you are enjoying the reading, you are enjoying the scriptural reading, but something is missing there. So he will discuss those points in detail. So what is the problem with the scriptural uh, only scriptural reading, not manana, without manana and without the Vidhyasana. The purva para paramarsha vikalaha. So he will say that why these panditaha, these scholarly people are confused, because they don't know how to read scriptures, how to read Vedantic textbook. They read as they read any other book. So they have studied many books. So they take at another book and read it. So there is a total difference between Vedantic textbooks and other reading books. So you read a novel, you read a poem, you read some stories like that. So that is a reading. That's the reading. You get some information, you enjoy it. But Vedantic textbooks are not for just for reading like that. So he will say that Purva Apara Paramarsha Bhava. They don't know how to connect things, how to connect the discussion in that particular scripture. So they are unable to connect those. Therefore, they are confused. Now from 102 to 107, like 5 shlokas, the wrong understanding about Ishvara. Now we know, you all know who is Ishvara. Now here you will understand there are so many mistakes. We consider one as Ishvara. So this Sannidho, technically, it's all technical things going to be discussed. Now Ishvara is God. You believe in God, you pray to God, everything you do is good. Is good. You have to do it. But you don't know who is God and what he does and how he does. So without understanding those, you are confused even with God. So how can you say you are a spiritual person or a religious person without knowing who is God and what is God? We have discussed the characteristics of God in the last chapters. Maya, Upadi with Maya, the Sachidananda Brahma become God. So that's okay, we discussed. Now here we will have more detail with compared to other philosophies. In Citra Dīpa and Tirtha Dīpa, we will discuss other philosophies as well. Because in Vedanta also there are so many branches, so many schools of understanding, schools of thoughts. In Vedanta, in same Advaita Vedanta, we have different schools of thoughts. So that we will discuss. So therefore it is said, even in Ishvara's concept, people are confused. So they sometimes they say Brahman as Ishvara or Chaitanya as Ishvara and whatever. So we will confirm that again. So 208, 211, the Jiva and Ishwaras, like we just discussed, no? Jiva Srishti and Ishwara Srishti. The Jivanam Apya Sankatvad Nitya Jnanadi Madvad. So we see so many similarities between Jiva and Ishwara. The Jiva has almost all the qualities of Ishwara. No, then why Ishwara? Why Jiva is not Ishwara? So Jivanam api asankatva. Jiva is also asanka. And Ishwara is also asanka. Now what is wrong with Jiva? Why Jiva is Jiva? So this we will discuss there. Because Nitya Jnanam is there, the eternal experience of consciousness. It's there in both Ishwara and Jiva. Ishwara also has Nitya Jnanam by nature, by essential nature. And Jiva also has Nitya Jnana. There we say Jiva is with Avidya and Ishvara with Maya and all those we say, because therefore it is not, Jiva is unable to experience all those things. So you will get some interesting points here. From 112 to 124, as the correct understanding of Ishvara from scriptures. As we have already discussed the wrong understanding of Ishvara, now with referring to the scriptures, the correct understanding of Ishvara. Ishvara means the Maya Upad, not we are discussing of Chit. So therefore Chit and Chidabhasa. So we have Chit as Sakshi and Chidabhasa. Now the duties of Sakshi, how you can identify Sakshi, that we will also discuss here. And we will discuss there is an Ishvara and Ishvara Sakshi. Now you only know one Sakshi now. So there will come up another Sakshi. Ishvara and Ishvara Sakshi, Jiva and Jiva Sakshi. So this technical things we will discuss. And then of course the next point 125 to 151, like 25, almost 25 slokas, 26 slokas. Again come with Maya, the nature of Maya. Maya Chayam Tapurupa. See, 25 slokas we will discuss Maya. So what we already discussed, we'll get many other points. How to chase Maya, how to understand Maya. So Maya Chayam Tamorupa, we start with 25. Achintya Rajana Shakti. Then he will conclude that Maya has no definition, already we discussed in last chapter. Yadrik Tadrik Swarupa Mikshadam, the third chapter we have discussed. So Achintya Rajana Shakti. So this is going to be Maya. Unimaginable creative power, which is Maya. So he will again and again he will say Achintya Rajana Shakti, Achintya Rajana Shakti. So this will come. And 152 after that, 152 to 57, again the conclusion of Maya with the cause of creation. Maya is the cause of this creation. We will come there. And Jagra Swapna Sushupti. Now the Jagra Swapna Sushupti is experienced by Jiva. But now who is making this? Jiva is making Jagra Swapna Sushupti, or Maya is making, or Ishvara is making? Who is the creator, the man? No, experiencer of this. So we know we are in Jagrat, in a waking state, and we are in dream state. We are in deep sleep. But actually, no, it's something else is happening. And all these three stages are at one point we can say it is Jiva Sriti, but actually it is not. So that discussion will come here. And from 58 to 158 to 192, Ishvara is the inner controller. Now, Ishvara as Andaryami. Ishvara has another form as Andaryami. Now, Ishvara is Sarvajna, omniscient, omnipotent. All these are Ishvara. And along with that, indweller of all beings, Andaryami. So why he has this quality? So that will be discussed in like 3-4 shlokas. From 193 to 270, the mutual superimposition. Now, superimposition is with Jiva and Paramatma, and Brahman and Jiva is there. But here again, he will discuss the Ishvara and Brahman. Now, who is superimposing what? So the superimposition of Jiva on Brahman, that we know, that's very famous because of ignorance, avidya, you do all this. But there is a unknown superimposition between Ishvara and Brahman. As Jiva and Brahman, there is a superimposition. Similarly, there is a superimposition of Ishvara and Brahman. So that we will discuss there. After that, 218 to 221 is a very important point. The Uttama Adhama Bhavasche. Now there are sadhakas. We are doing sadhana. But some sadhaka, they get clarity, experience very easily. In no time they get it. But some sadhakas, they do sadhana, they are doing sincerely, seriously, but it takes a long time. There is very slow change. Unidentified, unknown changes. It's very difficult to even know what change has happened. So this point will be discussed. So the Uttama, Adhama, Bhavaha, and then the basic character of different sadhakas, how what they brought with them, and how they can improve their sadhana with what they brought along with them. Even a small question, sometimes some questions we just superficially we ask some questions, but sometimes some question it goes very deep and the answer may change your life. You must have experienced this many times. Maybe very simple question, very normal question, but that would change your life. That would change your mentality. Why it happens? So he will say that because these questions, actually these questions arose from your subconscious mind. The conscious mind gives some information. And when subconscious mind tries to process it, it is not clear with what it got. Therefore, there the unreceptivity. No, it's you feel that I have not received it. It's not it's not connecting me there. So this feeling brings questions. This is the real change. If you want to see the change in your mind, you should connect this subconscious level of arising questions and how they arose. They arose from the information they newly received. So this is a connection. So this we will discuss in 221. So 222 to 232, 10 shlokas. Again, the Tattvamasi, the word Tat and Tvam, their different meanings. And na Tattvamor Upayarthau, and the separation of Tattvamasi and all those we will have. Like we just the Tattvamasi was introduced in last chapter. We will have the discussion of Tattvamasi there. So Chidabhasa, Asanka, and Kutastha, all this will come. Tattvam or Upayartha. Upayartha both are together. Now, what is the difference that we will discuss? Tat and Tvam. And 233 to 239. There, like 7 shlokas, bondage and freedom. What is bondage? Bandha moksha vyavasthartham. So here the word will come as 233. Bandha moksha vyavasthartham. Now bondage and freedom. Freedom means liberation only here. So bandha and moksha. Now what we think, this bandha and moksha is there in samsara, there in this creation. And God created it because we know that God is the creator. So God must have created bandha, bondage, and after that he will support us for liberation. Or we can say the bandha or moksha is controlled or managed by Maya. But he will deny both these concepts. He will say Maya cannot make you in bandha, Maya cannot liberate you. So that we are going to discuss. Now, from where you are going to connect this? Because Maya is not going to do. So, bandha moksha vyavasthartham. Now, some people think that Maya is making the bondage. Everywhere you read this. But he will say, he will deny with so many logic and technical things that it's impossible that Maya can make you in bondage. Maya cannot make. So, no liberation supported by Maya, no bandha created by Maya. So, no bondage created by Maya, no liberation supported by Maya. So, therefore, you don't attribute bandha and moksha on Maya. So, that discussion will come there. Then, after 39, 240 to 246, 6 slokas. There, the normal thing, the difference between wise and ignorant. The wise person who is liberated from the samsara and the ignorant person. So we see in both are doing vyavahara, they are leading day-to-day life. So wise, the enlightened person also has some sort of avidya, ignorance, or some vyavahara, some actions he is performing. If he is performing those actions, day-to-day actions, he must have some delusion, some avidya, some Brahman. Otherwise, how he can do that? And ignorant people, of course, they also have the confusion, Brahman, delusion, or avidya. So there he will make different type of delusions. He also has some delusions, but those delusions are different from the delusion of ignorant person. So this the practicality of uh, moksha or jivan mukta or ajnani. So both will be discussed in that. And then 49, 247 to 251. So there, how this person who is already jivan mukta, how he is going to lead the life. Punardvaitasya chaditi adhyasa ayat. So sometimes you see people after studying Vedanta, doing everything, they are acting like same, they before how they were leading the life, the same life they are continuing. So what makes the difference? What is the difference? Why so? So this will be discussed there. And there he will say, because of samskara, the even enlightened person, Jivan Mukta, will continue to lead the same life, live the same life. So he is not worried about what is happening in his life. Like we are worried about what is happening. We are always worried about good and bad. Good is happening or bad is happening. In the case of Jivan Mukta, he is totally unworried about what is happening in his life. He doesn't distinguish good and bad. He has no separation as such. He is not uh, purposefully doing something for good or purposefully doing something for bad or wrong. Nothing. So there is no separation such. Now the problem comes, then how can he lead that? Because if you don't know what is good and what is bad, you are not separating it. How can you choose things? If you are not choosing things, how you are going to use it? How you are going to take the effect of that? So this questions comes. So there the discussion will come with the samskara, and again in between the Dvaita will appear in him, and all this discussion. Actually, it is a very confused state of understanding, because you study Vedanta. Vedanta says there is nothing, and he is doing everything. Now, how we can believe that he realized it and he knows it? How we can believe that? So it's a very difficult stage, but here he will give here many examples and experiences how we are going to do that. So after that, 252 to 255. Viveke Dvaita Mithyatvam. Viveke Dvaita Mithyatvam. 252. And duality and discrimination of duality and delusion, and Pragabhava Yudam Dvaitam. And this duality has no existence, that we already discussed before. A non-existing duality appears as real. So this is the distinction of reality and unreality. Actually, in duality, there is no distinction at all, because there is no point of distinction. whatever you will try to distinguish is within duality. So now within duality, how can you distinguish what is real, what is unreal? So therefore, you will say, you cannot distinguish something real, something unreal. You are going to use comparison there. And comparison has no existence. Comparison has no reality. Because comparison doesn't mean anything. One thing, one person is good and another person is bad. So you see both two persons are in front of you. You are looking at both of them, and you are saying that this person is good, this person is bad. Now, what is there? How you make it? You have some understanding. You have some preconditions. With those preconditions, it may be misconcepts. So with those misconcepts, you will make a person good, make a person bad. So this is we call as comparison. People say you to be like another person. He is very good. You should be like that. The truth is, one person or one thing cannot be as another. It cannot be changed. So that comparison has no point. But we are used to that. We cannot leave off comparison and leave. You try to do that. Don't compare anything. Cut off all this comparison system from your mind. You will see the big difference. Because all life we are doing all mischiefs, all these problems with we are dealing with because of this comparison. This comparison is very dangerous. So he will discuss with there. 256 to 263. There the chit pratyaksha grandhi bhedo vi sambhavya. The aparoksha jnana and the character of aparoksha jnana, that is chit pratyaksha. So the most direct knowledge, the you can say only direct knowledge you have is your own knowledge. You know yourself, that is the only direct knowledge. All other information, all other knowledge, they are all indirect. It's not direct. It is indirect. So therefore, Atma Jnanam is Aparoksha. So that we will discuss there. And 264 to 275. 264 to 275. Ahankara Gadecha Ajñātva Shastra Hridayam. So desires, the desires do not influence Jivan Mukta, we realized person. So why they don't influence? So this we will discuss in the last part of that. And then 72, 76 to 286. Vairagya, Bodha, and Supta Smriti. Now, before realization and after realization, how the person is able to continue his life as he was leading before, because he remembers his name, he remembers his old friends, relatives, his guru, everything he remembers. How that is possible? So this point people ask, because people do not understand how the realization comes. So they have many imagination about those. So therefore, this the Vairagya, Bodha, and Suptavad Smriti. Again, the Smriti memory will continue. As no, you go to sleep and wake up the next day, the previous day's memory will continue. The similar thing happens to this person also. Something we will discuss there. Then at last, 87, 88, 89, 19, all these shlokas. Arabdha karma nanatva. Now the question comes, if Brahman is one, and one person realizes Brahman, the Brahman is one and the same. And there are many jnanis. They realize the same Brahman, but they preach differently. Now this is again a confusing thing. How can they preach differently if they are experiencing the same Brahman, same Atma? Because we know Sachidananda Brahma is only one. So there are many jnanis believed to be jnanis. So those jnanis, why they preach differently, why they behave differently, write books differently. They say, no, this is like this, like this. There are so many things. There are so many gurus. Why this happens? Now, how can you say who is right and wrong? Because Brahman is one, they should preach similarly. They say they write on Brahman their experience. Same. They should not differentiate from others. We see everything is different. So that is because their own practice. It's not because of their knowledge. Knowledge is one and the same. But the prarabdha karma and their samskaras, their thinking, thought process, their thought process are different. So because of their different thought process, they preach differently. Their prarabdhas are different. So prarabdha samanana.
the network has gone there in Swamiji's place, so we have to conclude. Only 2 more words are there. The Phalastu, the last 2 words only. So anyway, we will hear more from next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurupyo Namaha. Harihi Om.